First of all, just thanks a ton for being here. It's really awesome to get to talk to you. Um, just kind of following up on the conversation we were just having about, kind of the bioweapons and stuff. We talked a bit about what happens inside the country, and you said you also like to look up and stuff on foreign policy. So I was wondering what you think we should do about stuff that comes from outside this country. Like, COVID was obviously a huge thing. It impacted not only the US, but the world. And we now know that more than likely came from a lab leak over in China. Uh, and the question is really like, what do we want to do about that? What do you think? Like, my question to you is, what do you think we should do about that? Do you think the US should inject themselves to do more to prevent stuff like that? Like, what do you think we should do in order to prevent situations like COVID from happening in the future from that stem from similar causes?
Like I can't tell you how much the overwhelming answer I want to yell is yes, yes, yes. The America has to take that role. There is a competition going on the planet. I already talked about us versus them versus just us. The other competition is how do we organize ourselves as people from democracies or authoritarian governments? And unfortunately, in a global scale, we should understand as people who share common democratic values. We can have a lot of argument about how we want to organize our democracy, which we clearly are having in America. But the commitment to certain democratic principles is something we share with a lot of other nations. But there is a unfortunate stumbling of democracies all around the globe right now, from Hungary, inarguably, I think Turkey, countries that are democracies that are sort of falling back towards their authoritarian tendencies. I think that Donald Trump was one of the people that was pushing us, eroding democratic institutions and norms, not to mention storming instigating the storming of the Capitol. And the reason why I say this as a run up to answer your question is because there are a lot of us democracies that are trying to form a rules-based world order where certain rules are created with how we deal with threats to humanity, whether it's climate change, whether it's nuclear energy, nuclear power, nuclear proliferation, whether it's bioweapons or what have you. And so democracies are very eager to create institutions, world institutions, that govern a lot of these issues. It's the authoritarian governments that are often the ones that are violating these world-based rules orders, or have, unfortunately, often very scary ambitions when it comes to these kind of bioweapons, access to nuclear weaponry, and more. And so a lot of what we're doing is trying to and by the way, there's rules-based order on everything governing the internet, financial systems, and it's all not, frankly, always what I would want us to do, because I think there's still colonialism in its modern form taking place with a lot of countries, and other ways that these systems are being influenced by, I think, greed and corporate greed and the like. But my big belief right now is we've got to start thinking as a human species about what is the best of protecting humanity, protecting this planet, and creating a fairer playing field globally. And I will bet on democracies all the time for being the better force to protect that. And that doesn't mean we're always right, but at least in a democratic system, people who disagree with that have mechanisms with which to make power yield. In the democracies, the best aspect of democracies is the power of the people is always greater than the people in power. And if the people decide to use that power effectively, they can shape the democracy's role, not just within the country, but within the world.